So I guess my last video didn't record properly. I've been having issues with the mic. So I'm just gonna do a quick rundown on the Resin Pass. It's gonna be $5, and that's gonna give you 40 resin every day for 30 days. And people have been asking, like, is this worth the money? I can say without a doubt that it is worth the money, because like 30 days you'll be able to upgrade a character all the way to level 90 if you want, just on boss rushes alone. But as a free-to-play player, like, here, check out my resin. Like, I logged on late today, so I was overclocked at 160. So for me personally, I don't think that I would get the Resin Pass just because I don't want to be overclocked an extra 40. Then I'm gonna have to take out a boss and do a ley line in order to start my resin cap, get my resin uncapped. So it really depends on you, honestly. Like, are you the kind of player that logs in every day and you only have 20 resin because you somehow played and only slept for like 2 hours? But yeah, if you're always getting on and you have less than 40 resin, then yes, the pass is just, I mean, you're not going to be able to beat that value. But if you're like me, who tends to sleep in every so often, like, it's going to end up being a royal waste. Honestly, like, I was playing Genshin, or Honkai Impact 2, that was the game that Hoyo was working on before this, and that game just gives you so much energy. Like, 300, 400 energy is what I have. Like, the max boost is like 60, so I end up having a little more energy than I have any need for. This game has been funneling it out though, and a lot of people are complaining resin is a problem. Personally, I don't think it's that big of a problem, because, I mean, when they made condensed resin, that was pretty cool. It's very helpful for me, actually. But let's see here. Yeah, I still have fragile resin. So with my playstyle, the Resin Pass really probably isn't going to be that big of a deal for me. If you have already used up all of your fragile resin, like, then yeah, that's another thing to take into account. Also, like, whatever level your AR is, that's also going to come into effect. Because if you're like under AR 20, then that extra resin would do a lot. I mean, the resin is always going to do a lot. It's 40 resin every day. Even though it doesn't seem like very much, it's still a boss every single day. And when you get up there, when you get up to this point in the game, you're going to need to farm bosses a lot. Literally, in order to, just for the gems, you're gonna need to do like 30 boss runs. So that's every boss 30 times. You know how you can make that less antagonizing, less bad? Resin Pass. It's that simple. And I've also seen other people on YouTube and Reddit saying, oh, well, this is just gonna break the game, this is gonna ruin the game, it's gonna be all pay to play. I mean, it already kind of is that, because we have Primogems. Like, you can do a resin restock with Primogems, and that's basically the same thing. Only it's actually a little bit better, because when you do a resin restock, you get 60 resin. This only gives you like 40.
Yeah.
But for the price, $5, like 4,000 resin, is ridiculous. Such a good deal. But like I said, personally, it's not an option that I'm actually interested in. Because right now, I'm struggling just to finish off my resin every day. As somebody who works 10 hours a day, yeah, it's not. It's gonna get a lot harder to actually use all of that. And even if you're just using domains and using condensed resin,
Dodge this.
that would still be
No one escapes my sight.
pretty good, because then that's an extra piece of condensed resin every day. That's a little bit more farming that you can do. Try not to think of it as like, oh, it's only 40 a day, that's barely enough to do anything. It's still a boss rush. Like, it's... I mean, I don't know what you think you're doing, but boss fights are like one of the biggest parts of the game, just as far as grinding goes,
Freeze.
as far as character ascension and all that. But, yeah. What else was there? There was another pass. Welcome Wish. That's the one that I use. The Welcome Wish.
Cool it.
That's also a good value. I mean, for $5, you get enough to do 2 10-holes. That's pretty decent, considering that we have a shop. What does it cost for? It just rumbled like it hit me, but I don't think it hit me. Oh no, it's gonna hit me. Okay, so this is the thing we have right now. I guess they're gonna add the resin pass onto this when you hit the R1 button. But if you look at the crystals, how much do the crystals cost? Okay, so for the same amount that you get in the Welkin Moon, you'd have to pay like $30 or something. Right? Of course, I don't really understand any of this, because they all seem to have like the same amount, the same rate for the Prima Gems. They all end up being like about $1.30 per dollar, I think. I think is how much it comes out to be. But I think these two are like the better deals, because they give you like 132 or something, and everything else gives you like 120 or something. I don't know. Do the math on it. Double check that. Personally, I don't really use the Genesis crystals. I still have 300 from when I bought the Welkin Wish. Oh, Belkin Wish. Sorry. Yeah, I still have my 300 left over, and I haven't used them yet. I'm probably going to use it to try to get an Albedo. I feel like I'm going to do that in a different stream.
Dodge this.
So, yeah, like all of these passes, they're good deals, yeah, but you gotta take into account your playstyle. No, not again. No.
Wind blade. Cool it.
So I wanted to touch on something. Let's see, it's not destroying the game. It's like, yeah, that's the other thing. You can get all the resin you want, but what does it really do in the end? It maxes you out to 50, or maxes you out. Are you spending time on the Spiral Abyss? If yes, then yeah, Resin Pass would totally be worth it, because then you can grind out artifacts and get a whole lot of extra stuff. If you're not in the Spiral Abyss yet, like, there's not that much else to do. It's definitely going to cut down on grinding, and if you're a new player, around like AR 40 or something, it would totally be good, because that's going to cut down a lot of your grinding time. And you can, I mean, 40 resin a day might not seem like much, but it totally would add up. Currently though, I'm at the point where it wouldn't really be that useful for me, so I'm thinking I'm going to skip it. What are our characters at? All of our characters are around like 50 and stuff, so it's not like I'm hurting for experience here. Although getting that last 80 to 90 ends up being a lot of experience. But that's fine. I'm fine with that, having to put in some extra time on it. That's me. That's my...
Hey, there's something strange over there. Come on, let's take a look.
I mean, that's my preference. I don't really mind having to farm out 90-some levels, because that feels to me like you earned it, you know? Although, if you don't have a team that's over 80 right now, then consider getting it, because that's gonna really rip into how many that's gonna take. Because even at the level that I'm at, I'm only getting 2 blues, 2 greens of the amethysts. And that really doesn't change. So that means you're gonna have to fight these bosses 30 times. So if you're like me and want to stagger it out so that you don't only do like 2 a day or something, then that's fine. Or you want to get the pass and you can just do it every day. Because yeah, then you'd start with 160, you'd have 200 total. So that means you could do 5 boss fights. These guys respawn after like 3 minutes or so. So you could do it that way. And then you'd have, yeah, you'd have 30. That'd be like 6 days. You could finish that in a week. Right. So it would take you a week to be able to raise the character up to level 90. And then you'd have to experience mats. But the experience mats would be, you'd have 40 extra resin every day. That's like another condensed resin. That's like a whole nother run. I think I'm gonna warp down here so I can get that bloodstone, the agate. Anyways, yeah, keep these in mind. It's just my opinion. People already tell me that I don't complain about Resident Evil. They're like, oh, you don't even play the game. I'm like, I play this game like every day. I just don't care that much about being very strong. You see, I don't get artifacts equipped on these guys. These guys are legit just there so that I can level them up after I fight a boss. Oh no, they've seen me. So yeah, those are my thoughts. If you liked the video, let me know, like, subscribe. I'm only making this video because somebody commented on one of my videos that they couldn't hear me. So thanks for that. I really appreciate it. Any kind of feedback, because a lot of the time I don't have time. Like, I'll be streaming and stuff, and I won't have time to go back and check every single video. A lot of them, though, I do. So yeah. Thanks, guys. I'm ZZGarat, signing off. Peace out, my homies.